Do you like your job? What about the people you work with? Well, a new report shows that social media giant Facebook is struggling to keep its employees happy. What we want to know, is that just a Facebook, or is job satisfaction not what it used to be? So we're talking with business expert here, Jeff Lerner from EntreNation. Am I saying that right, Jeff?
EntreNation, yes, sir.
It's today's sponsored segment. Jeff, thanks for being with us here today.
My pleasure.
So is Facebook the only one struggling keeping up job satisfaction, or is it bigger than that?
No, it's definitely bigger than that. I think Facebook embodies a trend, and I would suggest Facebook's problems are pretty representative, which is the number one thing that, I think there's a lot of talk around millennials and young employees, and it's all perks and benefits and who's got a foosball table and a cereal bar. That's not actually what makes people happy. Like, people are still people, and people want to have meaning and value and mission and purpose, and Facebook's struggles with employee satisfaction, I think, correlate to Facebook's struggles with their mission and purpose and their bigger troubles.
So what's Facebook not doing? Obviously, you're doing the stuff like the Google things you mentioned with all the foosball tables and everything else. What are they missing?
So I'm a big book guy. Like, I read a lot, and so I would say my talking point is it's all about language and culture. My book recommendation is a great book called Tribal Leadership, which is all about language and culture. But I suspect Facebook has a language and culture problem, and it starts at the top, but it's all about the fundamentals of what are people talking about, what is their reason why they go to work every day, and ultimately when it comes down to just being about money and perks and status, you're not building a solid organization at that point.
So if you're one of those people out there, whether you work for Facebook or anybody else, and you know what, you say to yourself, I'm not happy with where I'm working, what can those people do to be happier with their job, or what can their bosses do to make their situation better?
It's always a leadership problem. I'm a kind of a there's a book called Extreme Ownership, like this concept of, like, as a leader, it is my problem, it is my mandate, it is my responsibility to fix it. And again, I think a lot of times we like to pin it on changing in trends and millennials, and they job hop and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, if you build a strong organization with really clear mission that's not just talking point lip service, that, like, you're really doing great things and you articulate that as the fundamental language of your culture, people are attracted to it. And I think a lot of companies have just started pandering to the perk mindset. They think it's a competition of perks. It's not a competition of perks. People want to have value and feel valued and do valuable things.
So do you see more of a trend where people are leaving their jobs, those traditional 9 to 5 hours, and doing their own thing?
Yeah, I think that the big shift in the landscape is that fundamentally companies used to view employees as their biggest asset. And now, if you sit in boardrooms and you listen to consultants, companies view employees as their biggest liability. It's just, and the way
has that changed from something that we value to someone who's like, yeah, they're really good. This is an issue that we have workers.
Automation, technology, process enhancement. The conversation in boardrooms now is, how can we get the same or more with fewer people? And there didn't really used to be avenues to do that, because a human was a human and they did the work and you couldn't duplicate that. But now there's technology,
and that's only more of that's going to be changing, more of that to come.
Yeah, I think employees fundamentally feel it more than they understand it. It's kind of like a seismic shift. They just get, like, my value and my standing within my own company has changed. That's why they move more. That's the underlying, like, tectonics of it. But
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting stuff.
My perspective, anyways.
We don't have time to go through everything here this morning, but people want to learn more about you and some of the ideas that you're unveiling here. Where do they find you?
So go to entreinstitute.com. We basically have training for people who are sort of exploring this. They're feeling the land under their feet shifting a little bit, and they're exploring this avenue of, maybe I could do my own thing. Maybe I could control my own schedule. I mentioned I haven't had a job since I'm 16, and people are like, how'd you pull that off?
Yeah,
and I'm like, well, go check it out. I'll teach
wild.
you,
Yeah, so that's what they do over there at Entre Institute. We'll have a link on our website, abc4.com/GMU. Talking this morning with Jeff Lerner from Entre. Jeff, thanks for being with us
this
morning.